an unlocked back door.
In the USA, there have been over 500 mass shootings since 2013. The news of the day can be slow, it can be big, but one thing you can always count on is that someone got shot. Whether in war, during a crime, or even self-inflicted, someone will be injured by a firearm. With numbers to rise, there are roughly 330 gun casualties a day, 100 of which are fatalities. This is a graph showing the amount of reported cases of gun violence from 2000 to 2024. As I'm sure you can see, the rates have only soared since massacres in places like Columbine and Sandy Hook. In fact, over 31,000 people died from gun violence in the year following Columbine. But I did manage to exclude one part of those statistics. Yep, all the statistics I've shown, and everything from the graph and afterwards, all were just in the US alone.
What's going on? What's going on today, bro?
The demons, man.
Demons?
Oh my God! Voices.
Investigators found their first pipe bomb in the parking lot, and the Denver bomb squad immediately sealed off the building. Robotic cameras later found the entire school was booby-trapped.
The site today of a mass shooting, and this time, gunfire aimed at elementary school children.
Amid the gunshots and bomb blasts, hundreds of students ran for their lives, stalked in their own school by two of their own classmates who went on a rampage.
People were getting shot all around me. There was a guy at a table right next to us, next to me and her, and they just shot him and then walked away, and then he was just sitting there in a pool of blood.
The details are still pouring in. There are 27 victims, 20 children, 7 adults.
All I saw was a man holding an assault rifle shooting through the door.
You can hear the shock and panic in their voices as they describe the suspect, Audrey Hale.
In a matter of seconds, a country music festival turned tragic, a storm of gunfire raining down upon an innocent crowd.
He was shooting everybody, and there was dead people everywhere, and I don't even know what was happening. He was just shooting randomly.
The U.S. has consistently shown itself to be the gun death capital of the world in a landslide, even trumping war-torn countries like Ukraine in total number of gun deaths. But why does the U.S. hold this record? Is it the guns? Is it the people? Is it the rap music? If it is these things, how come places like Canada, who are very similar to us and have over 12 million guns, only have about 300 gun-related fatalities a year? To answer this question, I went to the streets of a small community in Colorado to ask them the question, what causes gun violence in America?
In ready access to...
Honestly, I don't know. I think people...
Kids are exposed to a lot of weapons.
Stupid people who don't know how to handle guns.
It's not only bullying, but many other factors.
I would say just their mental health.
I don't know. I don't feel like you can blame it all on mental health.
There I received very interesting and varying opinions and answers. I heard many say troubled or angry youth was to blame, or neglected mental health. But what I also heard is that there should be further restrictions on gun ownership. I was confused. I felt conflicted on these varying answers. Why are people from Colorado so varied? Colorado specifically is very interesting. Another factor we must consider is that Colorado has a much richer history with gun violence than many other states in America. Many of these most publicized, covered shootings happened in places like Littleton, Aurora, and Highlands. But those are far from the only shootings in Colorado. Just days before the creation of this script, there was an incident at the Foothills Mall in Fort Collins, a place very close to where I grew up. Fort Collins isn't a troubled area either, widely regarded as a college town. How does something like this happen in a small community? Crimes like this so often occur in little towns like Fort Collins or Littleton, although Littleton might be the most impactful out of all of these. The tragedy at Columbine High School shook the nation and was felt throughout the hearts of thousands. But why did gun deaths jump so drastically after the massacre? In the later half of 1999, after the shooting, approximately 9 million guns were sold in the US, with about 500,000 of those being sold at NRA conventions and conferences. That is about 6% of the guns sold in those months. While on the topic of NRA membership, surprisingly, it spiked more than it ever had the year after Columbine, as you can see on this graph.
From my cold, dead hands.
Now, I've seen you in the hallways. You wear a National Rifle Association hat. Can you tell me more about the National Rifle Association?
National Rifle Association is for people who are not able to buy guns when they become an adult. So it's forced to make people who say you have to buy a gun at 21 to let you buy your own self-defense at age 18 as soon as you become legally adult, so you can defend yourself if anything bad happens to you.
What do you think you're protecting yourself from with a firearm?
I protect myself from criminals.
Can you tell me what criminal encounters you've had, either here or in California?
I've had people who want to sell me drugs. I've had somebody assault me with a gun to my head. So if I had self-defense, I'd be able to fight back.
Do you think that maybe those altercations would have changed at all if you had a gun then in California or in Colorado when either a gun was to your head or someone was trying to sell you drugs?
Yes, because then they'd know not to mess with me.
How does a gun aid you in a situation where someone is trying to sell you drugs?
It shows that you have power and that you're not afraid to use it.
People were clearly feeling scared after the shooting at Columbine. People were even scared enough to buy 300,000 guns in the month following Columbine in May 1999. Very soon after the Columbine massacre, the NRA held a conference in Denver. I could only assume to ensure and let everyone know that they were safe from teenage industrial fans. The NRA made an official statement on CNN after the shooting in Parkland. NRA Representative Chris Cox said the NRA is focused on real solutions. Another lifelong NRA member, Sam Gandalaccio, made a brave statement. It's not the gun laws, it's the people, when approached by CNN. Sergeant Peter Wiggins, do you know how many children were killed in the Sandy Hook massacre?
There's tons.
What do you think his score would be with a switchblade?
And
good thing it's the people, because over 12 million guns were sold the year following Parkland. In, you guessed it, just the U.S. alone. With all these guns, the U.S. was surely safe from any more gun-crazy maniacs, right?
Right? Wrong!
Another graph? Yikes. If these deaths and fear can be prevented by the protection of the NRA and guns, then why are we scared? I once again went to interview more people to get to the bottom of all these scary incidents. This time I chose a more reliable and personal source and decided to interview the people at my very own school to ask if they're scared, why are they scared, and the usual, what causes gun violence in America? My name is Maddox Sparks. I'm a reporter. You can call me many more because I'm a blatant ripoff. But I'm going to ask you some questions today, and I hope that's okay with you.
Okay.
I'm just going to interview you. Now, how does it feel being a student in Colorado?
It's alright, you know, you get the benefits of like free food and all that, but not much happens here.
Man, it's pretty great, man. I mean, I was coming in school, man, walking around, man, kind of.
It's alright, I guess. Some school's alright. That's all I really got for that.
Do you ever feel fear going into high school or school in general in Colorado or in the States?
No, not really.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's some days, but not necessarily, no.
Man, that's the truth, man, because, you come to school sometimes, you're just having such a rough day at home, and then this is like your escape, because kids have school, man.
Not really, but it is kind of concerning when all the security's around,
No, I do not.
I do a little bit. Why is he laughing?
Sometimes, seeing how it's an American public school, but that doesn't just limit us to Colorado. I think that's everywhere in the U.S.
No, I just can run away really fast.
I don't feel fear, but I do feel like at our school specifically, there's always like a hold or something going on.
Can we stop this just a second?
Yeah. When I asked these questions to freshmen or sophomores, I received normal, usual answers and the usual split opinions. But as soon as I decided to interview juniors, seniors, or staff, I got reluctance, or first-hand accounts of an incident from March 23rd, as you can see in this interview with Jack Lopez. Are you ever scared, or do you ever feel fear going into Loveland every day, or feeling unsafe?
Well, we had an incident. There was an incident like a couple years ago.
It's been a week since several Loveland High School teachers walked away from campus after a reported threat.
Loveland High School parents are furious after they say they weren't told about a possible school safety threat until after police investigated and then the district canceled classes.
That threat turned out to be unfounded, but parents say some teachers left the school or never showed up in the first place.
Loveland police say they responded to the school shortly after 8 that morning. The Thompson School District confirms 14 staff members left the campus.
It's very scary. Just thinking back on it, I didn't know what to do.
But parents are raising alarms about how the district responded.
What is your reaction to hearing that?
I'd say cowardly.
Now, my school is no stranger to school threats or warnings. Ask any student here and they'll tell you just how many holds we have a week. But as soon as I approached the staff, I saw an apprehensive and cautious side from the interviewees. Loveland High and many other local high schools have begun to get a plethora of shooting threats, one of which led to the termination of Loveland High School's principal for the handling of the situation. After that incident, and other threats from other schools, Loveland schools have been on high alert alongside every other school in the nation. With people scared, unprepared, and ignorant to the real dangers, I ask you two final questions. How do these things happen? And is it?
An unlocked back door